Okay.
1 second, guys. Let's see. All right, there we go. Okay, perfect. Hey, Staffingpreneurs, we are live. We're back here live today with our setup class, our run it class. And we've got, hold on 1 second. I know I made you double, Latanya. I don't want to put you on blast. There you go.
Don't.
She said, please don't. I know. We're here with our second class of the day. This is our run it class. We typically do 3 classes on Monday morning. We do a setup class first thing, then we do a launch class for people who are launching their staffing business, and then we do our run it class. And right now you're in our run it class, and we're streaming live today for the 4th of July holiday. So I want to welcome you here. If this is your first time here, this is actually a major treat. I never go live, or hardly ever, I would say, go live on my run it. Hold on 1 second. I'll just make sure the volume is turned down on my run it. But today I am, and I'm really excited that y'all are here. So I'm just gonna throw in a chat box. I can see you all on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please do me a favor and tell me your name, what's your niche, and where you're chiming in from. I want to hear. And this is a smaller class, a little bit more intimate. Most of the staffingpreneurs in the run it class are running their staffing businesses. So they typically come into this class when they need to. And it's not as much of a Q&A as it is more of an it's interactive. It's Q&A, interactive, a little bit of both. So really here more to answer questions about the running of your niche recruitment and staffing business. And we can kind of go from there. So the floor is open for anyone who has questions. Callie, where you been? Callie's in the house. Hey, Devontae. Devontae sent a message out. People know what's going on. Hey, Callie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm phenomenal. How are you?
Good.
Tell me what's going on.
Just living the dream. No, Locke and I have been trying to get a couple things, waiting on the site. And then I've been working on my, pipeline kind of on the side, reconnecting with old clients, things like that. So
awesome. How far away are we done with your site?
I think it should be ready this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Very exciting. So we've been waiting on that and just kind of catching up and getting ready to launch and do everything.
What's your official launch date?
We have not gone over that yet. We were kind of just wanted to, like I said, I've been just rekindling with old clients that I have a reputation with, and they know how I work and trust me, things like that. Because I don't want to start going out and doing like cold calling stops without a site. So I think any day now, I mean, in the next few weeks, I think we should be ready to go.
So let's talk about a couple of things, because that's very exciting.
Yeah.
So, because you said a few things too. So the first question that I had was, are you putting all of your leads in your ATS and keeping notes on them?
So the only thing is, I'm waiting for a lot. We have to go over all that stuff. So like we have to go into our CRM. We're kind of not into that yet. So I just am doing it old school. I do have my pipeline and a lot of my clients just in my computer, but we have not done a CRM or anything like that yet.
You've got to do an ATS.
Yeah, no, I know. And I know he worked with one, so I should be training on his coming soon.
Okay.
So he has all that.
And that's an ATS though, right? Not as I'm
correct. Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure, because the compliance is getting crazy right now.
Yeah.
Post-COVID. So I want to make sure that you're in an ATS. Your CRM is, if you have the right one, comes in your ATS.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in you having an applicant tracking system.
I know, because like I said, he has another business, and I know he does all that online. So I think he's going to implement what they use already into our company that we're going to be launching.
But is that an ATS?
I believe, I think he does have one through his company now.
Okay, he has another staffing agency?
Yeah. So he does the security, uh, but he like staffs security through for other companies.
Okay. I'll make sure that we have Devontae touch base.
Okay.
Because staffing agency software is just that, right? We want to make sure
Yeah.
he has an ATS and he has the proper system, and you cannot double systems. So if
Okay.
they're two separate companies, they need to be two separate licenses
Okay.
for compliance purposes. So that's
Then I
very,
won't speak on that because I think I would have to double check with him.
yeah, definitely. The second thing that I wanted to ask is, so I definitely don't want y'all to do things old school because it's not going to work at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Like if it's old school at this point, unless, it's what I would say is we want to mix your old school up with your new school, right?
And I was gonna say
And
when I was watching your videos, I was so happy to see this because I have been saying this for years, and any like corporate or CEO I've worked for, they're like, no, that's not how you do it. And so I just kind of obviously went with the flow because they were my employer. But I've been like watching all your videos, rewatching some, and I loved that you said, I noticed you do more like online and like online applications and not I you specifically said 10 cold calls is a lot for like a week's worth. Whereas like my old companies used to make me hit like 42 doors a day. And I would tell them like it's really important to do follow up, not just hit a new door every day, but once you do get in the door somewhere, it's very important to do follow up because a lot of my wins were after follow ups. Like, and it could be a week's worth of follow up, it could be 2 years, whatever, as long as you're following up. So I liked how you're more up to date and not so much old school because it just makes more sense.
yeah, the fortune is in the follow-up. I
Yeah.
mean, that's essentially where it is. So you definitely have to take time to create new opportunities, but you also have to create time to nourish the opportunities
Yeah.
that
Oh
you
yeah.
created, which is the more challenging part. But that's where the money is. That's where the
Oh
fortune
yeah.
is in the follow-up.
And I love following up. I used to bring like goodie bags, or I'd pay attention to what theme they had in their office and would bring something of that theme. So it's like, I really love the follow up, but I liked how you said a lot of it's in like the mass emails being sent out. I mean, then following up off of those, because I strongly believe in that also.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that you all have some pretty decent strategies flushed out. Let me tell you what I see, Callie. When people launch, typically they're impatient about their launch. It's not planned successfully. And they are doing things like, how do I say this? I see them doing more moving without a strategy, without an idea or an execution in mind, right? And we want to make sure that you are being very specific about what you're doing so that you don't come back to me 6 months from now and say that this is not working. It only works when there's a strategy behind it, right? Or works in a way that can be scalable when it's a strategy behind it. So I always tell my staffingpreneurs, you need 3 solid strategies. Whether you implement all 3 of them or not, that's neither here nor there. You need 3 strong strategies that you're going to focus on in the first 3 to 6 months, whatever that may be. And that way you have a very clear idea of exactly what direction you're going in, right? So some people say, okay, D, well, I'm going to do social media campaigns. Okay, cool. But what are you doing with those social media campaigns? Because if you're just posting, that's not enough. You've got to post with intention, post with the intent to engage, right? There needs to be a process that's happening throughout. There needs to be some type of process. So I want to make sure that you all have clearly defined strategies on how you're going to connect with your employers and how you're going to engage with them after you connect. And then 3 strong strategies on the candidate side as well. Please forgive me. On the candidate side as well. I know I'm a little tired. I guess yesterday. So that other side is just as important. And then being able to identify that and incorporate that into your business model with your internal staff or your other team members. And that way you can hold people accountable. When you have a strategy, you can hold people accountable.
Yeah.
When you don't have a strategy, then you it's hard to hold anybody accountable, right? Because everything is just tasks based. but we have an outcome that we're trying to achieve. We want to meet 20 new people, 50 new signed contracts, 100 new placements. I don't know. I just made that up out of my booty, but I'm just saying you have a goal, a direction of where you're going towards. The strategy is going to help you get there. And then these tasks are going to help you complete the strategy. Did that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I love that. I love that. So that's what I want you thinking about for your next go round.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Love it. All right, Latanya, Stephanie, you are up. I see Becca's here. Hey, Becca, I miss you, Pooh. You all are up. I want to just really support you all in your run it phase. Let me go and look on YouTube and see who's on there. If you're here on YouTube, thank you for joining. This class is for you. Hey, Kimberly, she's in Rochester, New York, haven't started yet. Okay, are you in my class, Kimberly, are you in my class? If not, how can I support you? I'll support you during this call as well. This is for anybody who's looking to run their niche recruitment and staffing business and are having challenges or just getting started. This is your time where you talk. Let's talk it. Let's walk it through. Let's walk through it.
Okay. I was going to ask about the email strategies, like with the intention. I didn't understand because the sheet that you sent out about the steps, I don't have that. So do you know what I'm referring to? Let me see.
The niche overview worksheet.
Right. The worksheet. I kind of that so I can understand really what I'm doing, you know.
Okay, so I think I understand what you're saying because you're not in the setup class, right?
Right.
Okay, so because the niche overview worksheet happens in the setup class, but let me give you a synopsis. So that's for when your foundational stuff, right? When you're going through, but for where you are right now, I'm not going to say you should or should not go back to the niche overview worksheet, but let me give you a cheat sheet, right? So that you can understand what you need to do since you don't have access, because that's only for my people that are in that class. So let me explain something. You're looking to figure out who you're going after, like what target market we did this last week. You already know. We literally went through this last week. Hold on one second. Let me get my cheat sheet. Sorry about that. But that was through one of our other classes, I know, but you and I actually sat down and we talked about all the things that you have going on. And I gave you the cheat sheet. So we talked about what have you done? You told me what you did and what you feel like you should be doing right now. You told me learning the ATS and so forth. And I asked you questions like, who were you going after? Do you remember that?
Right. I got it here. That's my homework.
That homework is the cheat sheet to the niche overview worksheet.
Okay.
So if you do that homework, you're essentially answering the questions that you're saying.
Okay. I guess I meant, how do we go after them, with the emails? Like, I don't have my email set up.
Right. So you got to do the homework first in order to get there. Remember?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's what that homework is about. It's about you can't send emails out or understand what you're going to send out until you understand who you're going after and what's important to them. So that's why I gave you that homework first, because I can't move you to the next step until that happens. Right. So have you done that yet? How far have you gotten?
I'm starting it. I've gotten to how many nurses are in Mississippi and Louisiana, who to contact. And that's where I stopped at, because I'm still watching the Run It course as well.
Okay. So the first thing, again, you want to go back and figure out, if you have nurses, those are the people you're going after. I mean, if we're talking solely about emails, then you don't need to know quote unquote the number right off the break. You just need to know who you're going after. And you say nurses, what kind of nurses, right?
Right.
And then who do those
Right.
nurses report to? And what type of facilities they're working in. Once you write that down, that's your cheat sheet. Then you want to go in and start researching what's important to the hiring managers and what's important to the nurses. Excuse me, and what questions are being asked. And then you're writing your emails from there.
Okay.
But that other research has to be done first. It has to be done.
Okay.
Because so we got that part. So as soon as you have that, then we can go back in. But if you want to go through it with me right now together, we can. We've got time.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't want to make it look like I wasn't participating, so I'll just do a portion out there.
It's not even, look, Latanya, it's more about us making sure that you move, that you're getting it done, right? And moving through the process. So some people come here and they're like trying to get as much done as possible so that they can continue to move. If time is of the essence, then I would take advantage of the time that you have here with me now. And the things that we just spoke about, I feel like those are 20-minute research, 30-minute research, like it literally can be done right now. Who am I going after? Nurses. What nurses? Do you know what nurses you want to go after?
RNs and LPNs. RNs in Mississippi is 44,069 registered nurses in Mississippi and 14,739 LPNs in Mississippi.
And what type of facilities are you placing RPNs and LPNs in?
Well, I wanted to transition over to the jails, hospitals, and like surgical centers.
Who would the RNs report to in the jails? Who would the RNs report to in the surgical centers? And who would the RNs report to in the blank?
That's where I stopped at.
That's where you got to get in. Who do they report to? That's a very quick, that don't take long. Honestly, that's super quick. So let's share the screen, right?
Okay.
And we can go in and hold on, let me just do this. Okay. Let's do this. Where are you? Okay. I was just adding that in there to get that out the way. Okay. So now, pin message. Okay, perfect. So let's go into here and let's go to BARD, B-A-R-D. I just got access to a new AI. I haven't tried that one yet, but BARD is who I want to go to in this particular instance. Okay, Kimberly, I'm coming to you in a second. So BARD, I'm going to ask, so I am a staffing agency putting RNs and LPNs to work in, you said in prisons.
Correct.
Can you tell me the job title of the person who nurses and or LPNs work for in prisons? So I know I spelled prisons wrong because let's see. And let's just see what it comes back.
Okay.
Correctional nurse supervisor.
Okay.
They're responsible for overseeing the nursing staff. They ensure da. So now that you know that, then you copy this and see how many of these people are on LinkedIn. $296 nationwide, according to this. This is correctional nurse supervisor. Let's delete that for a second. And Let's do a people search. And let's go to all filters and do title. Show results. So when we did the title, it said 15, so I don't even know where correctional nurse supervisor. So when we did a title search, it showed 15. When we did a search at the top, it showed more. There we go. But I don't know. See if they're still working in that role.
Right.
What's the let's see, I'll go on my scene list real quick. And let's go to contacts, titles, search. They even have only 8. So let me go back and ask, who else would I reach out to speak with? Who else would I reach out to? Let me just see what he says. Medical director, nurse manager, nurse practitioner, physician. So medical director, nurse manager, I would probably say are the 2 that would have decision-making experience. So then you would go back to I want to go back to here. And I would change my search a little bit. So this one was correctional nurse supervisor. Let's just do medical director. And then let's see if you can go industry, PRI. That's a jail. That's a jail. AI. No, correction, COR, correctional institutions. And then I put medical director. So let's see if what comes up. 6. Yikes. Let's do medical director and correctional nurse supervisor. And then when I put that opened it up. But let's change the industry here and see. So that's the thing, that's the way that your research is coming in. And they don't even have like prisons or jails to even break it down. It might be under civic and social organizations, maybe on education management. I didn't even know that was a thing. Maybe it's under government administration, but they have private prisons too. Maybe it's under law enforcement, legal services. I don't know. Typically, it would be under either prisons or correctional facilities or jails. You think it's under public safety?
It could possibly be.
Or securities and investigations? Like, I have no clue. They're missing. So I'm gonna try securities and investigations. I'm gonna try public safety, political organization. This is gonna be a weird search.
Yeah.
Just so you know, so, nonprofit. Because you have public and private prisons, right? And then it was
Right.
another one. It was like government. I'm gonna do legal services. Oh, they only let you do 5. So then let's do law enforcement.
Law enforcement, yeah.
Okay. So then we're looking correctional nurse, medical director. Let's see what comes up. So 900. But look, medical director, I don't know. Arizona Burn Foundation for search and rescue, medical director. That might be a good search though.
Mhm. So that's public safety.
Texas Juvenile Texas Juvenile Justice Department. That's
Yeah.
probably jail, right? Something like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm so out of that life. I don't really know. That's definitely not my area of expertise. But what is interesting to me, I'm going to tell you, is that I put in public safety, political organization, nonprofit, law enforcement, and security investigations. And the number of medical directors that are coming up in places that I think that I wasn't even thinking about is very interesting, which leads me to wonder if they have a need for nurses in areas that we haven't tapped into.
Right. Yeah.
Because the Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department, what would the medical director be doing there? Are there nurses in the fire department?
No, I'm a CPR instructor, so I know, sometimes you will go there and teach CPR and first aid, but I've never heard of nurses being there.
I never heard of that either.
Mm-mm.
I would call fire department nurse. Did you know there was a fire department nurse?
Nurse educator.
And they have case management nurses.
Mm.
An emergency medical service nurse, an EMS nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know. They're looking, this one, California is looking for an EMS nurse at the fire department. So
Right.
can a registered nurse join a fire department?
You know what? That is true, because when we was working at the nursing homes and you call the fire department, the EMS come out first. So yeah, I guess it would be.
Yeah, they said
And they-
registered nurses are among the eligibility requirements in California and the states to be a part of the EMS team. So a registered nurse can join the fire department for medical services. I had no clue of that. It's required for the registered nurse to attend training in pre-hospital care. It is also advantageous if they have experience on critical care, such as air transport. I do know that they have air transport nurses, but
Right.
I didn't think about fire department. So that's very interesting. So such advantage was derived from the fact that flight nurses, as they are called, have appropriate and sufficient training, emergency and trauma settings. So so flight nurses. Yeah, a lot of people, I never hear people talk about I'm placing flight nurses. And now I'm like, I never hear people talk about I'm placing nurses for fire departments, but that's very interesting. Right. But you see how you just do a little bit of research, you start to see that nurses are needing in more places than we are thinking about, but I'm sure a lot of people aren't calling them.
Right.
So very interesting. Look at this. The county sheriff's office has a medical director. Who's calling the county sheriff's office?
Right.
You should be getting fired up right now.
I am, because I'm like, I never knew all this was, available. I didn't know it was a need in these areas.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Devontae,
just
can
shows
you
how we limit ourselves.
go ahead, say it again?
I said it just shows how we limit ourselves because of the lack of knowledge, not to, do the research.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. So
that's why it's important
this is so
for me to
important too,
get
because then you can tap into people who everybody else isn't tapping into.
right.
Mhm. Devontae, can you put the link in the chat box for Seamless? This is seamless.ai that I'm using, you all. And Seamless, I just went as an extra search because they use AI to search the web for contacts. And so I utilize them as a backup resource right now. And there you go, Students for Life, Philadelphia Fight. Look at that, Medical Director Maria. Look at this. Now, what is this? Oh, Philadelphia Fight, Medical Director of Pediatrics. What is Philadelphia Fight? Who's being nosy?
I don't know.
P. Williams. Oh, it's healthcare service, community health. Okay. My crazy mind, I thought it was a fight club. Like, what are they doing over there? There you go, Maine Department of Corrections. So it is the medical director, I feel like, for prison.
Right.
That's what it seems like. It's the medical director for prisons and fire departments. And maybe now we should be saying, you should be thinking, so, because look at the American Diabetes associations. I've seen a lot of associations. Okay, perfect, Stephanie. I'm definitely going to help you with that. Yep. So I think that one right there was a good look. It looks like medical director, maybe nurse manager is also another one that you might want to look at that can support. Nurse manager. Ohio Department of Public Safety, Burn Foundation. It's a lot of little things that you could tap into. It was 1,000 results on Seamless. LinkedIn, we didn't get so much. So, with Seamless, they got people that are on LinkedIn and that are not on LinkedIn. If I can't find my right search on LinkedIn, then I'm going to definitely go in and look in other places to find the people I need to get in contact with.
Okay. Now with the sales navigator, do we get that on our personal profile, or do we open up a professional profile?
No, it doesn't work. Don't work like that. On LinkedIn and every social network, you have a personal profile that holds your professional profile. So you have to go by it under here. But when you're in your personal account, what you're going to do is you're going to go into where it says me. And you're going to go where it says for businesses. And then you're going to do create a company page, and you create your company page from there. And then when you do in Sales Navigator, it'll start, everything is purchased from this account as a whole. You're just somebody, like I said, people don't do business with companies. They do business with the people in companies.
Right. Okay.
Was that good?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Devontae, not seamless.ai. We have a special code. We have a special link that you sent out in a community chat. If you don't remember, ask Ashanti, but we have a special link that we work with seamless.ai, and you can go in and get the discounted rate with them through, no worries. You can get the discounted rate through my name with seamless.ai, and it integrates with LinkedIn. Okay, go ahead. Latanya, what was you saying?
No, I was just saying that's what I thought, because I was trying to do a professional page and it kept bringing me to my personal page.
Yes. So what you want to do is you want to go into when you go in there, you want to do for businesses and then go create a company page. Thank you, Devontae. Okay. You want to go create a company page and then go from there. We have a special link. I thought it was shorter than that, but we have a special link for you to sign up on Seamless for our discounted rate. Is there a code or something in there? He just gave us that link, Devontae. It's not like a code or anything. I'll stick this here in the Facebook group as well for anybody who
That's
wants
what
to.
Ashanti got sent to me.
Okay.
Is that the is there another one?
I don't know. She has everything.
Yeah, that's the one I got from her specifically.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yep.
I'm just hospitals about hospitals not needing nurse staffing services. Okay, that's what you should be nervous about that, but not all hospitals can afford to do staffing on their own. If they could, then they would have done that before COVID ever happened. We're just going back into pre-COVID, and hospitals are feeling away because of the amount of money that they pay because nurses demanded more money and staffing agencies had to pay that money in order to get the nurses going. Now everybody is feeling away, but trust me, if that wasn't happening, I think it won't let me put it in here. Give me 1 second, y'all, because I think that link is too long. If that wasn't happening, then this company right here will be going out of business. It's too many staffing agencies that's supporting the healthcare space that are literally, and they are not permanently closed. That might have been a local location, but AMN is $1 billion company. Cross Country is $1 billion company. These companies are still utilizing them in grave detail. That is not going to stop happening anytime soon. So now, will they slow down? Yes. Will they start working with vendors who are serious about doing business with them? 100% for sure. A lot of staffing agencies have gotten away with, for the last couple of years, not having to do any work, not having to show their value. All they needed to do was have staff. That was because we were living in a chaotic environment during COVID. But prior to that, in order for you to get in the door with a staffing agency, you had to show your value. I'm sorry, well, in order for a staffing agency to get in the door with a hospital, you had to show your value. You had to show your value. And right now, a lot of people choose not to show their value. Okay. They just want to get in there really quickly. So the hospitals are still going to need staffing services, but they're going to be particular about who they utilize. They're going to utilize people they have relationships with. People do business with people they like, know, and trust. You're going to actually have real life strategies, building relationships with people that are going to seriously value you and the work that you're doing and the services that you're doing in order for them to see that. You're also going to have to start doing things to show your value in the industry as a whole. Thought leadership pieces. If you look at AMN's website, look at this. Y'all think I'm joking. They're literally not just talking about the services that they offer, like 5-minute recharge, Workforce Planner Pro is spending time trying to increase it. Okay. Then they go in and they have a whole webinar here, empowering talent strategies that deliver on the mission of healthcare. This is what I was speaking about in my setup class. Your job literally is to become the number one. To become, your job is to be the queens of how to staff in a particular niche space. They're giving you value. They have a whole video here, 2-minute video that's talking about something that is showing people exactly whatever needs to be shown. Then they give you research stats from a survey they did recently. They're in their business. Okay. Then they go in and tell you what they do. Okay, this is what we do. Then this is what we do. Okay, so we do language services, managed services. And then they go back in and give you more research and insights. Another survey. Okay, now your job is to go in and then to contact us. Now that's just them. That's not let's look at Cross Country. Like, real staffing agencies are moving in a totally different way. They're not playing around, but you have to become the kings and or queens of your market, period. Okay. You got to become the kings and queens of your market. You got to share data or share, like what we're thinking, read our latest reviews and our blogs. And they're telling you more about education or whatever the case. So they're all giving you information, trust. These companies are not going down. So, and I'm not going to tell you not to be nervous about all the changes that are taking place, but that is your choice. And you may very well be nervous, but I wouldn't focus on that. I would focus on the things that you can do to stay in the game, right? And to understand, because where one problem is broken, another problem, where you can go and fix another problem. Now, I don't know who AN is on my YouTube channel, but I want to mention one more thing. And that is, it's all about the conversations that you're having with the hiring managers, right? The conversations that you're having. So what type of conversations do you plan on having that will allow you to get a better understanding of the challenges? Because don't just hear no. If a hospital says no, or if a facility says no, it's not enough to hear no. Hear why, hear what they're planning on doing in the process. He asked them if you can follow up to see if it's working. Just because somebody implements something doesn't mean it's going to work. Just because they're saying, okay, we're going to get rid of staffing agencies and LTC doesn't mean it's going to work. It's going to take time for them to figure out. They're going to try to take over a system that they've never had to take over before. This is what we are specialty, and this is our specialty. We spend all day, every day, all day, every day, all day, every day recruiting and hiring and sourcing and just building a skill set around hiring and recruiting certain skill sets of people. That is not what hospitals are built to do. They're built to patient care, quality patient care, saving lives, not figuring out how to recruit. That's our job. That's our job. So we've got to be on our game, on our job. So if you're nervous about the hospitals not needing certain nursing services, figure out a way to make sure that they continue to need it. How do you do that? What value are you showing them? I want you to tell me what hospital is not, and they're doing it successfully. Even they're trying to implement. I've got 3 hospitals right now that are trying to implement their own in-house program, and they are failing drastically. I'm talking drastically. They've called my office. So they do not have it together at all. They do not have it together at all. So they need agency. And I'm never going to tell them not to use agency, because the more you grow, the more you need people who are experts in specific areas. You all are becoming experts in specific areas, right? I hope y'all, that's what y'all doing. I hope y'all becoming experts. I hope that's what you all are thinking about. Stephanie, what's your question about the job postings?
Hey, Dee. Well, first of all, let me say I hired somebody from Fiverr. I told you to kind of help with social media. Mm-hmm. Well, in doing that, they were doing some of my LinkedIn too, and now I'm locked out of LinkedIn. They're verifying my identity, so I haven't been able to get in LinkedIn since last Friday. So, but my question was, initially we just posted, our internal apps and then just our positions, what ones we were doing. So that's what I have. But my question was, do those need to be specific areas? Because I just did a general posting and didn't nail those down to the areas that I had on my niche overview worksheet. Mm-hmm.
So for your social media strategy, so few things. I'm going to answer that first, and then I'm going to go backwards. Okay. So you want, in my opinion, you want to have a separate post for each job posting for each that you're hiring for, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can, if it's on social media, you can run ad traffic to that job posting.
Okay.
So you don't want it to be general. Okay. If you have one general post that says, here, view our jobs, that's cool. But really you want to have individual job posts, and you want them to have the link to Crelate so that they can go under that link and apply directly.
Mm-hmm. I did the 15-minute
you had them booking a call to you? Right.
Yeah.
I would, that's for your hiring manager or your candidate?
For the well, I've done both. I've actually done some ads for both.
I don't mind it being for the hiring manager or the candidate, but for the candidate one, I would drive them to a job opportunity too.
Okay.
Mhm.
So like, do you mind if I share my Crelay real quick?
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
And then I want to go back to your social media strategy because I think it's some holes missing and I want to make sure we fill them in.
Okay.
Feels like it's some holes. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So like when I go in, I did like these separate postings.
Internal jobs.
Yeah, I did the internal and then I did the utilization review,
Hold on one second. But those ones on the top, those are also internal jobs. Do you know why?
why?
Because they're not attached to a hiring manager because they're pipeline jobs, correct?
Yes.
So then they're still internal jobs.
Okay.
So they're only external when you have a signed contract.
Okay.
So
So like,
your internal and your pipeline jobs are all going to be considered internal jobs.
okay. And then like on the radiology RN, I didn't put that to a city or anything like that. I just did US, just a general. Should I have put that to a particular, like the cities that I listed on my niche overview for now, or just leave it as general?
Where's your workers' comp?
It's in South Carolina right now, but we're applying for several other states. And, Russ said just to give him a call and we could do that when I'm ready. So
I would do I would start out with the city where you're going to have the most action first, and then duplicate that post and do a nationwide.
Okay.
But you want to start stocking up as many people as possible in your niche market.
Okay. So start with those major cities in South Carolina for now, since that's where I'm ready to go. Okay.
Yeah. So let's go back a little bit to your social media strategy. When you wrote down your social media strategy, what are the bubbles that you utilized in order for you to define how you're going to be reaching out and connecting with people? Like what categories is your strategy running in? Did that make sense? I hope I asked that the right way.
I'm sure you did, but I'm not sure what you want though.
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So like when I write out my social media strategies, I have specific intentions for them. So like one bubble, it might be, so like, let me show you my client. Client projects. So like I have a lot of different types of social media postings. It's like 3 layers, but you have to have some type of strategy in order to go out. Clearly we're going to post our jobs. That's just one strategy, but you got to have other strategies. So like we do some where we have a lead magnet post. We have, what do you call them? Definitely job posting post, hiring manager post. We've got holiday posts. We've got what do you call it? Statistics posts. Did you know posts? Like, what are your strategies?
Yeah, right now I have my lead magnets. I haven't run those by you. I was going to check on that on Thursday. So I didn't do too much on one call, but right now it's just mostly the job postings. I have her working on some, stress related kind of things, just kind of to intrigue their interest, and doing that, having our links on there as well.
So you got 2 different markets. So on your piece of paper, you want to slice it down the middle and do it like a scorecard and do employers and candidates. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Mondays, you post what? On Tuesdays, you post what? On Wednesdays, you post what? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what do you post for the candidate side? What do you post for the client side? Do you have any campaigns going? So a lead magnet can be a campaign. In my opinion, not so much because it's running forever, right? But like I have a for Reskillify, we're planning a Black Excellence campaign where we focus on highlighting course and content creators that are blah, 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 blah. I won't give all my strategies out, right? Another campaign might be to make everyone, like we started this one, to make people aware of the shortage, right? So 1 in 10 Texas hospitals are at a risk of closure, and the rural communities have much of a larger threat. And we have 9 more of those that are continue to go out. And it's really more about the spread the word about the shortage campaign. So it's like, that's where I guess I'm trying to get your mind at, is starting to think about how you're creating campaigns that will drive engagement. If you just post jobs, you're just going to post jobs, and people eventually are not going to look anymore because they're going to see it as spam. So in order to keep it up and alive, you've got to have some level of campaign to like, okay, this is how we're going about it. This is how it's almost a way to talk about how you're tapping into the space. On the hiring manager side, you should be talking about the work that you do with finding the best nurses, and processes and strategies, and then tapping into their burn. But don't just post the jobs. I want you to really, really, really invest in creating a social marketing strategy that is going to actually keep people engaged on LinkedIn, keep the nurses engaged on Facebook or wherever you're going at them with. Does that make sense?
It does, very much, yes.
I did a lot in the beginning of social media posts. I was one of the first recruiters to really embrace social media. And when I first started, I spammed everybody. And I got kicked out of a lot of things from spamming, just posting jobs. They was like, oh my God. But the moment I started putting thought into it, like, okay, so that's not working. I started talking about other things that they enjoy. It always leads back to staffing at the end of the day.
Now, when you do those, do you put a link, like your link for your website?
Drive them. Definitely. You have to have a call to action at the end. Hey, if you like more information like this, visit such and such. Hey, if you just got fired up, visit such and such. So you always add your CTA at the end.
Okay.
All
right. Thank you.
You're getting there. I like it. I like it. Latoya from Indianapolis in the house. So I'm Stephanie. That was somebody else on YouTube. So I was just shouting about, but we know who you are, Stephanie Butcher, and I'm really proud of you. In your launch and of last week, you launched. This week, you're working more on getting your ads and your social media out. Your social media, where are you posting? So your social media is what you're doing on the free side. You're not running ad dollars to these, correct?
No, I didn't want to do ad until I'm ready. You know what I mean? Until I'm ready and I feel like I have something beneficial to put out there. Right now, I'm just kind of learning and, that kind of stuff. So they're on all platforms except I'm still working on YouTube, but everything else is going except for, like I said, LinkedIn until I can get back in there.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah. On LinkedIn, that's a whole different bucket. It was another step. My other Stephanie is on, if she's on here, I don't know if my other Stephanie is on here, but she told me about getting a VPN. I don't know why LinkedIn doesn't allow you to have more than one user to access your account. It being as though that they know people are doing it anyway. They might as well make it so that people, I would say be careful with the login information. And the reason she's logging in under your account is because you want all the information to stay there, correct?
Yes, I wanted it to stay there. Now she is in my Canva, of course, to design and things there, but and we didn't have a problem with the other accounts. It was just LinkedIn that I actually had to send ID. I had to send in my driver's license,
I'm
passport.
surprised you didn't have to do that with Facebook. They definitely would do it on Facebook too.
Yeah. So and I didn't even think about that. So anybody thinking about doing that, I would definitely consider that because it's locked out. It's been locked out since Friday.
Mhm. I'm having an issue with my assistant. We set her up with the Dripify campaign a couple of weeks ago. And she has a company Mac, and the company Macs are named like Staff 001 something something. And when she logged into LinkedIn picked up the email from the staff box and then locked her out. So she's been out for 2 weeks and been going back and forth with LinkedIn, trying to get back in there. And we've been paying for it and have not been paying for the Dripify, but haven't been able to get her account up and going because of of all of that. So kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks, but I'm at their mercy. So I'm just waiting, I'm like, well,
Okay, so your social media marketing is what you're working on now. And then, and I know you're working on your lead magnets. What's your other strategy? Are you doing outbound email campaigns? Is that what you are looking to do? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you doing Limlist?
I think that's the one I think I am. I think I'm going to go with that one.
That's the one I think I'm going to start pushing a little bit more than Connect 365. Not that I don't like Connect 365. I love Connect 365, actually, probably more than I love Limlist. However, if Limlist is going to do both the LinkedIn connections and the email marketing, it would just make more sense to go in that direction than to do just the 365 if the 365 doesn't allow you to connect with LinkedIn, because you want to send the messages out to both. We've had a lot of success sending messages out on LinkedIn. I touched base with Io Thomas. She's had a lot of success doing the same thing. And so, yeah, I want you all definitely doing that outbound and trying it at the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And, we can talk about anything you want to talk about as far as running the business. So any questions you have that's what this class is about, running the business. Any questions you have about running your business, that's what this class is about. You're welcome so much. LaTanya said, congratulations, Stephanie. I know she launched.
Thank you.
Tanya, yes, that's awesome. Hey, Ronaldo, I see you here. Hey, sister. I see you here too. Glad to see you all here.
Hey there.
Hey, lines are open. This is your class. We've got 1 hour left to play in your Run It class. All things. We talk all things running the staffing business. While you all are putting your questions in the box and getting ready for your next question, first of all, if you're on YouTube or if you're watching the replay, we really appreciate you. Hey, replayers. Hey, YouTubers. If you're on YouTube, please thumb up this video right now because it's giving so much value, right? I want to let y'all know that we do have a 4th of July sale going on. Please go to recruitmentstore.com right now. 4th of July sale, you want it. Whether you think you do or not, you do. Also live, we are going live with the launch leverage mastery live workshop here in Los Angeles, California. We're only a month and a half away, and I'm telling you, me and my team are so fired up getting everything together. Last year in LA, we did a healthcare boot camp. It was fire. I was looking at the video footage last week from us, not just hiking, but also we went to Ruth Chris. We swam on the rooftop of the W Hotel and broke bread. We had 3 or 4 days of live training. It was freaking awesome. We're doing it again, except this one is going to be a little bit different. It's not just healthcare. We're talking about the mastery of your niche recruitment and staffing business. Okay, so we give a little bit on the startup side, but we're really focusing on taking that business to the next level. The tickets are $3,000 on original price. 4th of July sale, $997 if you're coming in person, $599 if you're coming virtually. Okay, so get your tickets on that. And then what else am I missing? 4th of July, live events. Okay, I think that's it. Like this video. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, the lines are open. Who else we got today? How can I support you? This is your Run It class. Your Run It class. It is a holiday. I didn't think anybody was showing up for this weekend, this holiday weekend, because everybody is gone, closed. My setup class was pretty packed. I wasn't sure if you all needed me. If y'all need me, I'm here. If you're not, we closing this thing down. Unless y'all want me to do something, share some good stuff that I got up under my sleeve, which you know I always do.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
gotta be useful. What do y'all need me to? I can do anything. I can do everything. So you got to tell me what you need support for in running your business. We talked social media. We talked email marketing. We have a clinic. So a lot of people are in the clinic for the email marketing, the ads and automation, niche overview worksheet. What you got? I don't give away free brain. Y'all know how my personality is. You know how I do. Okay, we cutting this class short today. Everybody's good.
So I was thinking about what about the I think the sheet that that sales sheet.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I still haven't wrapped my mind around that one.
Okay, the sales sheet versus the pricing sheet. How you want to design your sales sheet for your business? That's a good question. So if you're not familiar with what Sister is talking about, as a staffing agency, there are three things that you definitely want to have. You want to have your sales sheet, you want to have your pricing sheet, and you want to have a badge. You want everybody in your staff should be badged, right? When they're going on site. Your sales sheet is used for a number of things. People think that your sales sheet is used more for like a brochure, but I believe that a sales sheet should be more used as a sales solution piece, right? It's more of a way to remind the employer that you can solve the pain. So most sales sheets, I can't get my staffingpreneurs to create it the way I want. They want to sell their business. This is who I am. These are my services. This is what we offer. And while I think that that's great, they already have like 1 billion of those brochures. I really like to see sales sheets focused on solving a specific solution. Like I am, so Sister, you're in entertainment space, project management, program management, different things like that, and supporting the veterans. And so, you know, my sales sheets would be more focused about how big is your staff for veteran hires, you know, or focusing on whatever it is, that biggest challenge that they have, and then incorporating, you know, the value that you bring on one page. Yes, you can tell this is what we do. This is how we do it. These are our services. But on the other page, you should focus on the solution that you're trying to solve, or the problem that you're trying to solve as a solution. And that's whatever is most important to that hiring manager, kind of similar to your email automation. So is the sales sheet is about connecting with them about the biggest challenge that they have. I have some clients that have a general sales sheet that focus solely on staffing as a solution, and then many ones that focus on different problems that they're focusing on for companies within a specific space. So let's use like Judy, for example. And she said she was talking to pharmaceutical companies for her to do the technical writing staffing. She could have one for staffing services as a whole. Then she can have one specific to pharmaceutical companies. Then she can have one specific with this, have this particular problem, and send that sales sheet out, not necessarily as a marketing guide, although you can. My sales sheets, I typically print them out after we get them professionally designed. When we have events, or when I'm going to fairs or networking events, I may send it out in mail. Like, yeah, we just use them. I've got beautiful sales sheets actually, and my clients do too, but it's all about how you use them. And then you can make them super personable, or you can make them super corporate. So like my sales sheet is on one side is very personable. Hi, my name is D. Williams, you know, and then on another side is more about what the company does. But then we've got another sales sheet that talks directly to the problem. So my staffingpreneurs, I haven't been able to get them to focus directly on the problem because everyone is programmed to just sell their services, not realizing that we're in 2023. You can't just sell. You can't just sell. You've got to build a relationship. You've got to connect with people on a more intimate level. Very important. AN said, would you recommend law, recruiting, or nursing? Law, recruiting, or nursing? I don't have any, I would not say, so very interesting. So one, it's more about where your network is, right? And how you utilize your network. I wouldn't say the law is more popping than nurse. You know, it's just about who you know more, what one, where you have the largest network. If you have a large network in a particular area, then you can 100% capitalize off of that market and turn it into open job orders over time, you know, and relationships. So I'm not going to recommend law, recruiting over nursing. I would say, which one do you have the largest network in, that you know the most, that you're most passionate about, and then kind of go from there. Hey, Katrina. I launched a business expo a couple of weeks ago. I'm having trouble with the next steps and what it should look like. Okay, so what's a business expo? That's interesting. You launched a business expo. Hey, Femini from Florida. Fabine, hey. What's a business expo? And if it's what I think it is, I'm having trouble with the next steps and what it should look like. I would like to know what it is first before I make an assumption, because in my brain, I have an idea what this is. What is it? Business Expo, EXP. Let's see what happens. Ooh, let's see. Seminars, talks, workshops. So that's what I thought it was, kind of like an event. And so if this is an event, sorry. Okay, wait a minute. She says, sorry, I meant I lost my healthcare agency at a business. Oh. Okay, so I have questions. So she changed, she said she launched her her staffing agency at a business expo. So what are the next steps? Well, what did you do at the business expo? Did you receive cards? Did you receive contact information? Like, what did you get from the business expo? If you just went and said, I've launched, and you didn't have a call to action, I'm not sure. I think you've got to start moving into whatever strategies you've created for your staffing business. But if you actually had call to actions, I'm not sure how you were engaged in that business expo and how you launching, oh, sorry, y'all, and how you launching your business connected with that business expo. Like, were you speaking? Did you have a booth and people were there? Was it a celebration? Like, I need more context. Like, what happened at the business expo? And what was your call to action? I think that's very important. Okay. But I like the idea of launching at a business expo. That's a different launch strategy. I'm all down for it. Okay, I love that. This class is literally so that I can help y'all run your business better. Whatever questions you have, I am here. Here. I received a lot of interest and gave out a lot of marketing materials such as business cards, tumblers, pens. I wasn't a speaker. I had a booth. Did you receive anything so that you could follow up? That's the biggest question. If you didn't receive anything to follow up, then there's really nothing you can do other than share the experience that you had online, right? when you go to an event like that, you have to have a, what do you call it? Intentions of what you want the outcome to be. And so like when I do events, even when I send my staff out to events, you better not come back without 50 business cards or without 50 emails or phone numbers. You know, you have to go and you have to come back with someone or something, or otherwise we just kind of attended an event. And, you know, let me just see. Okay, so if you had a sign up sheet and 10 business cards, it's time to follow up. Now we getting somewhere. So now if you know, now it's time to follow up. Thank you for attending my event. Thank you for coming to my booth. I would love to have a 15-minute conversation with you to learn a little bit more about what you do, blah, 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 blah. Very good question. Very good question. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. You say you wish you had better speaking skills. Networking is going to be a challenge. If you're networking online, it doesn't have to be a challenge. You can pay someone to help you write better. Once you get to the Zoom call, you might find more of a challenge in communication. But initially, I'm so sorry, y'all. Initially, I don't think it's going to be a challenge. As long as you can get somebody to write it for you, you should be fine. Can a CNA have a nursing agency? Anybody can have a nursing staffing agency. Yeah. Anybody can have a staffing agency. Okay, how do I know what's a good collaboration or not? When you say good collaboration, you mean whether or not that's a good hiring, a good client, potential client for you? Is that what you mean by collaboration? I just want to make sure. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm squinting my eyes like an old lady. But I want to understand that. Let me look at my box. Devontae put a question in and said, what type of issues are you all experiencing? Thank you, Devontae. Stephanie said, while I'm waiting for Katrina, not a question, but Debbie Shapiro with Universal Background Checks asked if you would like to connect to chat about their services they can offer. Sure. You could set her up, send her over to my assistant. But yeah, I would love to. We don't have a background check partner in this moment. And we're always looking for great partners. So yes, for sure. Thank you so much. This is a slow class today, a holiday class. That's okay. Katrina, I still don't know what you mean by collaboration. How do I know what's a good collaboration? Are we talking social media collaborations? Are we talking people you want to get contracts with, potential clients? I want to be able to answer the question appropriately, but I need more context. Okay. I have a recruiter that wants to collab, but I don't know what to look for as far as it being beneficial collab for both parties. You want a recruiter who wants to collab, meaning this recruiter wants to partner with you wants to partner with you on your staffing agency. You mean that this recruiter wants to recruit for your staffing agency, or it sounds like she either wants to split contracts or recruit for you. And if that's the case, then I guess my question would be, does she have a market in your niche space? It's beneficial if she has either candidates in your niche space or clients. If she doesn't have either or, then the only benefit may be her level of experience and what she has the ability to do. But if she hasn't proven it before, then how will we to know? Okay, so as a full-time employee or as a contractor or as a partner? She says she wants to recruit for my staffing agency. That sounds like a hire. And in that particular instance, we're not collaborating. They're working for me. but does she have her own staffing agency and she wants to recruit for you from that manner? I think that's a bigger question. What are some of the things that I did to be an effective speaker? I mimicked people who spoke well. So I would go to networking events and I would literally stand in the corner and watch people's mouths and see their interaction and pay just very close attention, and then go home and mimic it or mimic it in my brain. So, but people would start, I like to laugh from my core gut. Like I'm laughing. Like I'm like that. Like I really enjoy it. And then, but when I went to networking events, I realized like that's not what people do. Like they actually say how funny things are instead of expressing their funniest. So I will bust out laughing. They will say, "Oh, that is so funny." So now when I'm in public, I may not laugh out loud now. I may just say it. That is so funny, even though inside I might be cracking up. So I just started to pay attention to how other people were moving. And then I made sure that I knew how to turn it on and off when I needed to. Having the right pay rate for different facilities. Okay, Latonya, let's talk about it. Knowing what's efficient and also how to calculate profit after insurance. Is there anything that'll help you do so? I saw in the class you were using a calculator of some sort. Well, I know how to know what's efficient by researching, so cross that out. So I think interesting. Let's put this way. So when we start talking about having the right pay rate for different facilities, you only know what the right pay rate is based on one, what your minimum is, and two, what you negotiate with them, right? So everybody has to have a bottom line number, and then you give them a range based on your bottom line. I would try not to close a contract out with my bottom line number. I want to try to have beyond my bottom line number. You know what I'm saying? But know what your bottom line number is. First, you want to have set rates, and then, allow your rates to be open to negotiation. And then when you get in the door with a potential client, then that's when you go in and you start to talk to them about rates, right? And the thing is that I can tell you some key things that will guide you in some decision-making process around calculating profit after insurance and stuff like that. So the first thing, I'm not going to go into calculating numbers in this class, mainly because I'm live. Okay. And I prefer to do that when I'm not live. I'll give away a lot on this class, but some things I'm not going to give away. I want people to actually join the class. There's so much value in the class. But what I will say is that and when you're talking about contract staffing, you want to look at things from your margin perspective. Okay. And you want to make sure that you do have enough. So like on the contract side, I think Robert Half does like a 43% gross profit margin, right? There's somewhere around 43%. Just know on the staffing side, you're in healthcare, right? Your mark is 55% and above.
Okay.
Your bottom line markup is 55%. That's low.
Okay.
Do you know how to do your markup over pay rate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. Recently, not recently, but within the last 6 months, a lot of people, they wouldn't even talk about like a pay rate of such because they say it's too high. And that's normally long-term care. Too high. So.
And you're not gonna be able to play with them for a while.
Right.
We talk about that. You're not really gonna be able to play with them for a while because you have numbers that you have, they're not too high. They're paying that.
Right.
Just in a different way. Y'all just don't know how to sell the services to LTC. When they start talking about money is too high, they're paying the same amount of money. They still have to go in and do all the things that you have to do. They've got to have somebody, have to hire somebody on staff to hire the people. They got to post and to get the people to come in and figure out how to attract them. They've got to have time to screen them. They have to have the resources to screen them. They have all the same thing, the cost that it takes for you to do it and for them to pay you to do it. They now have to take on those costs. That is just how hiring works. That's why I said, I don't know why y'all concerned, because either they're going to do it internally or they're going to outsource it. Right. And it's going to cost the same amount. If it's internally, it's probably going to cost more. But I can talk about that another time. But even after they do that and they screen and all of that stuff and go through the interview process, those nurses are going to turn over. And they're going to have to do it again and again and again and again. Right. And they're going to see. And then you're going to see they're going to come back to agencies because that is not their specialty at all. Right. At all. Okay. If it was, they would have did it way before COVID. Right now, they're just having a temper tantrum. And you all, not you, LaTanya, but nurses, who's supporting these facilities, y'all been pimped out.
Right. Bad. Very bad.
Real bad. Y'all been pimped out so bad that now y'all can't even get control back of your market. Now they're running on top of y'all. So y'all gotta grow some, some kahunas and really like take back your industry. They need you. LTC, home health, they need you. This is not their area of expertise. Hiring is not their area of expertise. Pipelining is not their area of expertise. Even having a good hiring system to support the level of volume that they have come, they just don't have it together. And it's going to take them a minute to get it together. Why? Because staffing agencies have been perfecting this thing for many, many eons. They are just trying to get it on as a reaction to what happened during COVID. Right. All y'all need to do is pace yourself. Continue to reach out, continue to follow up, but focus on a different market. And the moment that they start to realize like, we can't do that. We need great partners again. You want to be the one right there to catch it.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's a great dialogue, because that's the real deal Holyfield right now. And even like you and I were just talking earlier in healthcare, there's so many different areas of healthcare that nobody is even thinking about. They're not even thinking about flight nurses, education nurses. They're not even thinking about that. They're not even thinking about corporate organizations are hiring nurses every day. Nonprofits are hiring nurses. We found out today that the fire departments are hiring nurses. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us are going and doing the same exact spaces and not really touching other parts of the industry, other markets, and that has to happen.
Okay.
That was a good one. Katrina said, AN said, wow, interesting. Thanks for that. You're welcome. Katrina said, as a partner, she has as a partner. Oh, she wants you to partner in. She has a recruitment agency and provides staff nationwide. She has plenty of candidates and connections with clients. That's in my niche. So she in another niche. Why is she not just capitalizing on what she already has? As a partner, I wouldn't say a legal partner, but as a partner from the perspective, as a partner from the perspective of you have a business, I have a business. I've got candidates, you got clients, let's connect, or you got candidates, I've got clients, let's connect. So you got to just figure that part out. You got to figure that part out. Okay. Very important. Great questions. Great questions. As you're moving in your business, how can I support you? That was interesting. She have connections and candidates with your clients that's in your niche. And what niche is she working in? Oh, I got nosy. I'm interested in knowing what niche she works in. That's different from yours. Is she like in IT and you're in healthcare and now she's And she's got all of these people in healthcare from IT, and she wants to partner from that way. That would be smart if that's the case. That would be smart. Make sure you all get your diversity certification. Make sure you go to sam.gov, get your DUNS, all of that stuff. I don't think they have DUNS anymore. I think they have a control number now. But make sure you get that so that you're open to working with the government when the opportunity comes about, and it will come about. I'm looking at all the notes here, all the comments. Y'all are very quiet on this holiday weekend. Super quiet. Super quiet. How can you start a staffing agency? Hire a coach. That would be the first thing I'd tell you. You got to legalize the business. The first thing you do is you flush out your niche market, to be honest with you, to figure out who you're going to do business with. When you come through my program, we don't even talk about legalizing the business until step 5. The first thing you're doing is flushing out your program to figure out and start your strategies to figure out who you're going after, why you're going after, and what you need to do. But this class in particular, I know you live, but this class in particular is not about setting up the business. We did that earlier. This is about running the business. Do you recommend Nurse Recruiter or others like that? A nurse recruiter is always going to be 10 times better than an IT recruiter or a truck recruiter, right? But most recruiters, especially if they've done professional solutions, then you can definitely, then a nurse recruiter, a more specific type of recruiter is definitely more viable, for sure. That was a great question too. Reading helps with speaking. How can I? Yeah, you got it. You could. I have a whole course you can take on. Okay. So you say your niche is dialysis, and she has candidates from med-surg, ICU, and ER that focus on dialysis. These candidates focus on dialysis. That's what I want to know. Great dialogue. Reading helps with my speaking. Where are you located? Baby, where are you located? What she tell me her name? I gave her a nickname, y'all. For being from Florida, where you located? I mean, where are you from? And AN, where are you from too? Both of you seem to have an accent, or you feel like your level of communication is not acceptable to what we have going on here. Oh, Stephanie, you're funny. nurserecruiter.com. Okay, so let me tell you the experience I had with nurserecruiter.com. Okay, so the last time I used them was during COVID, when we were working the contract, the COVID contract for the government, for FEMA. And we, in regards to getting nurses to apply to any full-time roles we had for anything, they would not on Nurse Recruiter. We did get some people who responded back to our open positions in regards to helping out with the pandemic, but we spent a lot of money on resume search, and we just didn't get good feedback. But that was during COVID, right? So, you know, this is now post, so maybe it's different. Can you ask them for a trial, or maybe use 30 days before you lock yourself into a full contract? I would try that first. Yeah. Let me get something to drink, y'all. Very important. Let me see. They're qualified to work in dialysis. Okay, so then you want to do a split. You know what a split is, Katrina? If you know what a split is, so you want to do a split. You want to do a like 60, I guess you could do a 60-40, or some people do a 50-50. Some people do a 70-30, but you can do a split on. Yes, Katrina, you definitely need to sign up for my coaching now. I will take care of you. Anybody on this call will tell you that. And we got a special going on for 4th of July, so you need to take advantage of that as soon as possible. But yeah, so you want to do a split, okay? And I'm gonna tell you what a split is. So when you decide that, okay, this is the company that I want to partner with, PARTNERSM, not them becoming a partner in your company, but being like an additional revenue stream for you. You know what I'm saying? So meaning like my staffing agency, your staffing agency are all working together collectively, but under our own company names to achieve a common goal. I'm pushing people through to you, you pushing people through to me, and we're killing it. That type of partnership. Okay. So when you get into that relationship, that conversation, you want to, the question is going to come up like, how much do we charge? You're going to be billing in more than one ways. You're going to be billing an hourly, and you're going to also be billing in lump sum, hopefully, if you're doing direct hire. Also, a lot of those long-term care facilities are doing direct hire. Are you not seeing that, LaTanya?
No, I haven't been seeing that.
But let me ask a different question. Have you asked?
I have not asked.
I know.
Because I really don't understand the direct hire. That's why I was going to wait till we get to that. I saw it in my Run It videos, but I really didn't. Let me see. I was going to ask about that in class Wednesday.
No, ask about it now.
Yes.
So direct hire is the easiest of all. You're doing the hardest one. Direct hire is easy because you don't have to do anything. I don't say you don't have to do anything, but you have to find the talent to put into the company's organization, but they're not on your payroll.
Right.
And then you get a check for going through that process. You still have to find great talent, but they're just not on your payroll, and you get paid a lump sum fee one time. Okay,
and let me ask you this. Does it have to be they stay on there for a year? Do you have to guarantee that kind of stuff? Or
forever.
Okay.
Forever.
Okay.
They belong to them forever. It's direct hire, meaning you're directly hiring them into that company. So you get paid for it, and then that's it. But
okay. So if they quit the week after, Okay. So if they quit the week after, what would you have? Will that fall back on me?
First of all, if they quit the week after, you stop.
Go ahead.
If they quit the week after, you suck.
Okay. Okay. But what if it's a bad facility though? Like it's some facilities out here that you clean.
Then you still suck because you chose to sign the contract. That's exactly right. You chose to sign the contract and represent that organization. So if you know you're working with a facility that has a bad reputation or does not on their A game, that's cool that you decide to work with them, but there are consequences that happen to that. First of all, you are going to have a hard time getting somebody to work in that facility and stay. So at that point, you might not want to offer direct hire, or you may want to offer direct hire with a very specific guarantee. But you are making a conscious decision to deal with someone who you already know your candidates aren't probably going to stick with. One of the young ladies, Kara, she had a kind of a challenge like that too. And I told her, you have to be careful about who you hire. You want to hire people who are comfortable with those types of environments. Like for me, if I was an employee again, I probably would not be interested in working in an environment that's like well put together. I work best under chaotic environments, and I love the challenge of turning something that's chaos into something that's formality. Okay. But that's what I know about myself. Most people don't know that. And most people don't feel comfortable in a chaotic environment and ain't trying to fix anything. Their expectation is that they're walking into a job that's already put together. Right. And so that even with that being said, it's how you, it's how you recruit. So if you already know that isn't a chaotic environment, then you're going to be very specific about the people that you put in there. You want to be upfront about it. Hey, I just want to let you know this environment is chaotic. We're looking for people who thrive in that type of environment. Have you ever been in that type of environment before? How did that work out for you? Tell me a little bit about, like, that's where you screening the person, whether it's contract to hire, direct hire, travel, per diem, it doesn't matter. Your job is to find people, screen them, and make sure they're the right fit. Like, another example would be, I ask people what their hiring style, what their management style is, right? What management style do you resonate with the most? I've had candidates who are a perfect fit in every way. And then when they told me what their management style was, and I, matched that up with the particular hiring manager, I couldn't push that button because they would be fired 2 weeks later or quit. Because it's just not a fit. So everything has to be fitting.
Okay.
Was that helpful?
Yeah, very, because I never even thought about direct hire, but now since you said it like that, yes, because that's what they're looking for long term.
That's exactly right. So, now, this is going to be your biggest challenge, because I'm telling you right now, I know factually those LTC centers would definitely pay for a direct hire. Okay. They definitely pay for that. But the question is, do you have a pipeline of nurses that will work direct hire? That's a different type of recruit.
Right.
So just like there's a specific nurse that does per diem, there's a specific nurse that does direct hire. And so if you're going to push that, you got to find those nurses. And they're out there. Their parents are sick. Their parents just got married. They just got married. They just relocated. They're about to relocate. Their kid has autism. There's a whole lot of reasons I've heard nurses why they're like, girl, I need full-time W-2, $90,000 a year. So you can, when you're working and now you're in my class, LaTanya, you're going to offer all of it. Contract to hire, direct hire, travel, per diem. There's no reason for you not to.
Right.
There's no additional cost for you to add on direct hire. And we're doing your website, so we're going to automatically put the services on your website, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Because why else? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? That's easy. If somebody calls you and says, I want to do a direct hire, you sign that contract, and hopefully you got the network to be able to support that.
Right. Okay.
You got this. You 100% got this.
Most definitely.
A said, I agree to be upfront. I did security and I didn't know what a challenge the job would be. Yeah. I mean, see, with direct hire, it's your one time, you get paid once off of that fee. So let's say you get one direct hire contract and the contract, you get paid 16 grand. That is enough to put in your bank to hold you until the next direct hire fee comes through while you're still running with your contract. Excuse me, with your contract that gets paid on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, And another thing also, I mentioned this lightly, but have you thought about with the LTCs, just charging up front?
No, because I could barely give them the pay on a net 30 on time.
Right. And that's going to change when they realize they're not. So they did that because you already know. I be fussing about this.
Yeah, I already know. I already know. I know my mistakes. I already know.
It's not just you, though. It's a whole industry of nurses. It's not just you. Yeah. And not just nurses, just like the healthcare industry as a whole that was supporting the LTC sector. That sector is definitely going to be slow, but it is not going to go away. And I say by January of next year, it's going to be back popping again. They're going to start to realize, like, this is not my area of expertise. Now, one more thing, LaTanya, you could go in, if your process is right, you could go into those LTC and sell the process as a consultant.
Right. Okay.
What did you just hear me say?
I could go in and make more money selling as a consultant and help them. To help them.
That's exactly what I said. Because like I said,
Mhm.
they are literally hurting. They are. There's nothing, they may
Right.
not want to pay you per se, but trust, they are hurting. So you could also sell your services as a consultant, sell the process. Hey, I know you all are moving to this new process. I totally get it. We're not just a staffing agency, we're a consulting firm as well, and we can help guide you through that process and go in there and charge them hourly for helping set up the staffing process for them, the recruiting process rather for them. And then you're still a part of the process. And when they see like, oh, we really still need agencies, you'll be the person that they come to because they've already established a relationship with you.
Right. Okay.
No.
Oh my God. I know there's a reason for that call.
Oh, we get you turned
I
around.
know it's a
Listen.
reason for you called me.
Yes. And so start thinking about that. And yeah, I know we're working on your brand newly, but Identifies Consulting is a consulting agency. I purposely use the word consulting because when you say staffing, sometimes people run, but we place not nurses, recruiters. I love nurses.
Okay.
We place recruiters, we place recruiting professionals, staffing with professionals. So we still do staffing every now and then, not as much as we used to. I pretty much solely focus on my clients that I have long-term relationships with. But I definitely been thinking about reopening up my staffing division because I've had more people reach out to me recently asking, do you got a recruiter? I need a recruiter. Can you hire a recruiter? I need another recruiter. Can you send me another recruiter? Can you send me another recruiter? I need another recruiter. I need another recruiter. I need a recruiter. I'm hiring everybody else's recruiter and I'm the one that need a recruiter. So, yeah. So all of that. All right. That was good. All right. Any last questions while we're here? Any last questions? Any last questions? Make sure y'all bring your questions to the running class. Like we really have 2 hours in this class. This is the only class that I teach that's 2 hours long. And this class is 2 hours long because I want you all to I want to be able to sit with you and really walk through things and work through things. Yes, we definitely need more questions, Devon said. Y'all know I would shut this class down so early. And I partied yesterday where I guested in my house yesterday. So I'm ready to pass out. But bring your questions here. Any questions like throughout the course of the week, from now to next Monday, you're going to be working on your staffing business. You're going to be putting pieces together every moment of the day, right? And I want you to have a little sheet on the side and like, oh my gosh, I need to ask Dee this when I get there on Monday. Oh man, I'm not really familiar with it. This needs to write your list down so that when you come to class on Monday, you can start going down that list. Bam, 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 bam. And and then we can get through it in a lot better. Ronaldo said, I still need to work on my niche overview worksheet some more. Work on it and bring it back. Work on it and bring it back. And Ronaldo, that niche overview, bring it back into the setup class because you still have access to the setup class. Okay. All right, awesome. All right, questions. Y'all bring your questions back next Monday. I want y'all to enjoy your 4th of July. A lot of you are off today. You're off tomorrow. Y'all all on an island somewhere or maybe in your bedroom somewhere. But I want y'all to enjoy 4th of July. Remember, we have a 4th of July sale going on at recruitmentstore.com, the letter A, recruitmentstore.com. Remember, we have a live class coming up. The Mastery live workshop online in person is on sale for $9.97 and $5.99 virtually just until midnight tomorrow. And make sure you like this video if you are on YouTube and leave a comment below. I would love to respond. I appreciate you for watching the replay. I appreciate you for being here. I will upload the replays in Reskillify. Y'all have an amazing holiday week, and I will see you all next Monday.